Hello, folks. Welcome to Cousins Reality TV. I'm Josh.
I'm Beth.
And today we are discussing the outcome of week 4 of BB27. We originally talked about, or earlier in the week, we talked about the nominations and Mickey overthrowing Riley. We didn't really discuss the veto ceremony, the replacement nominee, or the eviction. So, starting us off, let's start with first of all, the veto competition. How did you feel about the veto competition?
Well, I mean, like, overall, honestly, as a viewer, I mean, I want Keanu to stay around. I think it's entertainment having him around. So him winning the veto was totally fine by me. I think that was great. But when I think of the veto competition, I just think of Ava and how absolutely ridiculous she was. And she's not winning me over. I'm telling you, it's just getting worse, quite honestly, after the way she behaved. I think the whole thing was ridiculous. I don't know. How about you?
Well, I thought the veto competition was kind of boring. I don't know, the competition started out really strong so far, like at the beginning of the season, and then they've kind of slowly been boring. And this was another boring competition to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really the show edits so much of it, and the veto isn't on the live feeds. I don't know how long that pause was for her to have not said the prompt. I don't know if it was like maybe just a couple seconds and Keanu was like in a rush to like get it through, and I feel like what he did say was kind of rude. But at the same time, I don't know how long of a pause that was to be waiting to be given that prompt. So I don't know. I don't really fault Ava necessarily, because I don't really know the context of the situation as we weren't there.
Well, I mean, and that's a fair point. But what was ridiculous to me wasn't even that, you know, what was ridiculous to me is because she said, "You think because I dress this way, you can talk to me however I want." That was absolutely the most ridiculous comment. What did what she have on have anything to do with that? He was annoyed because she didn't congratulate him. She could have been in a bikini and he would have felt the same way. It wouldn't have mattered. But it's just like, it goes back to how I feel about she's so fake. And that's what bothered me about it. It's because, when people again are truly like different, unique souls, they don't want to keep drawing attention to it. They don't have to. She always wants attention for how she dresses and how she, like, and to me, it's just an act. And it's like, oh, Keanu was rude to me. Well, let's bring up the way that I dress. And it's just like, shut up, Ava. Shut up. Play the game and shut up about the way you dress. Nobody cared. It had nothing to do with what he said. So that was what was annoying to me more than anything else. I don't care that they bickered. I just didn't like the way that it was like, I don't know. I feel like if I was in that position and I didn't really like Keanu, or even if I did and he snapped at me, it would have just been kind of like, oh, whatever, Keanu. But I wouldn't be like, you think because I've got this outfit on, you can talk to me however you. It was just so stupid to me. I don't know.
Fair
Fake.
point. Fair point. No, I agree with you. I forgot she even said that about her outfit. So fair point. That was stupid.
It was stupid. And that was the whole thing that bothered me. Like, if it had just been a disagreement, it wouldn't have even, I wouldn't have even thought twice about it. But it was just the fact that it was like, oh no, it's because I dress like this. And then even in the diary room, she's like, well, because I dress like this. And it's just like, people think they can talk to me however they want. And it's like, no, you're looking for attention. So if somebody crosses you or say, I mean, people don't like, no matter who you are, you're going to have people in your life who don't like you. And it's, so your personality might just not be for them or whatever. But it's like just the fact that it's like, no, it's going to be because I dress this way. And I dress this way because I'm so unique and different. And it's just like, shut up, Ava. I'm sorry. I'm being a hater. Ava stands, whatever. But, it's like one of those things where like, like if somebody's really smart, okay, they don't need to go on and on and on all day long about how smart they are. People just know they're smart because they're smart. When you keep bringing it up, it's like you're just trying to do something for attention. And I just think that's exactly who she is. And I think that's how she ended up on the show. And she tries so hard to get TV time for being different and weird. And I'm over it. I want to see people have good gameplay. I don't want to see people on there trying to get attention or make name for themselves. And I think that that's what she is. But I'm sorry. I'll get off my Ava rant for today. Maybe. Maybe.
I'm sure she'll
No
come up
problem.
at least one more time. We'll see.
Maybe.
So then we move on to, yes, Keanu won the veto. We've got discussions going on about who the replacement nominee should be. Rachel is pushing hard for Vinny. Mickey seems to be biting a little bit, but then Morgan kind of pushes back a little bit, kind of in the diary room, not really towards Mickey, but like saying that she doesn't really want that to happen because she's working with Vinny. And then we show a conversation between Mickey and Vinny where Vinny is pitching Jimmy. And then they show a weird scene of like Keanu in the HOH room and then they just pointing to the memory wall on the TV and then Keanu being like, oh yeah, Jimmy's a threat. Something like that. It was edited so weird. And apparently like the internet is outraged because that's not at all what happened. Apparently it was Keanu first that put Jimmy out there as the target, not Vince. And then Vince is the one getting all the credit because I don't know what the showrunners, I guess production just really likes Vince and they're really giving him that winner's edit. I don't know. It's frustrating though because it's like people that are just watching it normally don't actually understand what's actually going on. It's annoying.
So what do you think as far as Mickey's replacement? Do you think that she made the right call in choosing Jimmy, or do you think that she should have nominated Vince? And as far as her play goes, I know that personally you would have 100% wanted Vince up there. But as far as her game move, do you think she made the right call, or do you think she should have slapped Vinny up there?
Well, see, I go back to BB25 when they put up Heisem. Felicia won the HOH, I believe, and they put up Heisem. Heisem was with them. He was never going to nominate them, but they still put him up on the block and he got evicted. This is the same situation where they put up Jimmy. They didn't need to. He wasn't going to come after them. He got evicted. So back then when Felicia did that to Heisem, was that a good move? I feel like it was. But that's not necessarily the best thing for her game. I feel like this is the same thing with Mickey, whereas it was a good move to get Jimmy out because he was a huge threat. But for her game, not necessarily. I do think Vince would have been the better option from a game standpoint. However, putting Jimmy on the block did make it for good TV and a good episode of Eviction. So that's my thought.
Yeah. I mean, I think after watching, because I watched the episodes actually out of order. I watched Thursday night's Eviction episode, and then I just watched Wednesday's veto episode yesterday. So I watched them out of order. And, I think that for me, I think game-wise, it would have made more sense for her to try to get Vinny out. But the problem is, even if he was up there on the block, would he have been voted out? So that was probably a point of it too. But I do think for her game, it would have made more sense to get Vinny out. Because I think she knew deep down Jimmy was not coming for her. And he wouldn't have been. And I believe him when he said she was like, he would not have put her up. And I don't think he ever would have unless it got down to like a Final Four, situation or something like that. But, Mickey is kind of saying her ride or die is Morgan. And if it were me in a game and I see my ride or die getting so close with this other person, but they're not close with me, I mean, I would be thinking, okay, well, if Vinny's up, or Vinny's HOH, what would stop him from putting me up then? And so I would want him out just so then my ride or die is my ride or die, So I think for her game, Vinny probably would have been much better. I really think, there could have been a couple other options that she could have put up that would have been better. I think at the end of the day, it's terrible to send an ally home. Because if that's a number for you and someone that you know, if they win HOH, they're not going to put you up. Why would you put them up? And that's kind of something, though, also that we've touched on too. You know, me and you've talked in our texts is that what's frustrating so much about this season too is HOH will nominate people and say, but I really don't want them to go home. Well, then don't put them up. If it's someone that you are even just a little bit worried about them going home, don't do it. And we've seen a lot of that too this year. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, but one thing I will say though is that Mickey is now in an alliance with Vince. So in a way, she got rid of Jimmy and added Vince as an ally. Because I know.
But
go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But really, though, aside from Rachel, who is Vince not in an alliance with?
No, 100%. I completely agree with you. But I think that's the one thing that Mickey looks at it as, though.
I guess, but you know, if Vinny's gonna eventually, if he doesn't go home, he's eventually gonna have to pick a side. And if he wins the competition, I mean, and that's one thing too, I guess, as far as editing goes. You know, they keep showing Vinny in the diary room telling us, like, I'm making all these deals with people and I know I shouldn't, but I don't know what to do when they offer me blah blah blah. What they need to ask him, because what I want to know as a viewer is who is your true loyalty to? Like, who's your true, like, you know, number 1 and 2 and 3? I don't think we know that, do we? I mean, I haven't seen it unless I
No.
wasn't paying attention.
No, I don't think he really disclosed that. But I mean, Jimmy too. I mean, Jimmy at least was saying that his closest alliance was the Triple Threat, but Jimmy was getting close with everybody else too, other than Keanu. So it was kind of like the same thing. Jimmy wasn't close with everyone except Keanu, whereas Vince was close with everybody except Rachel. So, I mean, it's I could understand the difficulty on Mickey's part, but I don't think it was the best move. No, I think Vince should have went up,
Or even Zach, you know.
Even
but
Zach.
I guess she was kind of still in the same boat. But
she couldn't do Zach,
I mean,
though. She's too close to Morgan, and Morgan's too close to him.
Yeah, but I wouldn't like that.
I wouldn't
if
either.
I was in the house, I wouldn't like it if my ride or die had 2 other really close allies that they were always, you know, because she was already worried, you know, that they were something without her. You know, that's why she told Adrian that they were in an alliance together, because she was already mad about it. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like it was just kind of, I don't know. It's all over the place, I feel like, and things just are changing so much, and then it's like just a disaster sometimes. I will say I didn't love seeing Jimmy leave. And I don't even necessarily like Jimmy, but it was just kind of, I mean, he is a little bit of the entertainment, you know. He grew on me as him and Rachel kind of created a bond. I didn't dislike him as much as I had originally. So I would have rather seen Kelly leave on Thursday, obviously, because I feel like other than being the, you know, habitual pawn every week, she doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, as soon as he mentioned Miley Cyrus, I was like, yeah, I don't mind if you go.
I don't know if I heard that part.
Yeah, he said it in his eviction speech. I'm just like, okay, just go.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Just go home. And then when he ran out on stage looking like an idiot, I'm like, yep, glad you're gone.
I don't get the gloves. The gloves I don't understand.
I don't either. I forgot who somebody was calling him out to look like, try to be Lady Gaga. I don't remember who it was. I was like, that's funny. I don't remember who said it though, but yeah, I don't know. It was a weird week. I don't necessarily. I think if she would have put up Zach, it would have just hurt her relationship with Morgan, and then she'd have no allies. So
yeah,
I don't feel like she had a choice in the matter. She really only could put up. I mean, she could have done Vince, but I think she would have pissed
Catherine.
I mean, yeah, but then she would have hurt Riley. If she put up Vince, she would have hurt. She would have hurt Vince. So it's like, it's hard. I mean, I don't know what else was talked about. I didn't watch the live feeds, but I feel like it would be it's hard to say when I'm not in that position.
Well, right, but what about Lauren? She doesn't have any relationship with Lauren, right? So why wouldn't she have ever been a thought?
I forgot she was in the
'Cause
house.
she didn't put her up. I know, I forget about her a lot too.
And I don't know. I feel like she's just a like a coat rack at this point, because
no one's worried about her.
Yeah, and then you only see her that one time someone puts their coat up. Like, who is she? And at one point they put her up in the HOH room and she just sat up there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a weird week. But I like the entertainment value. The Ashley vote was insane. It was something that was never happened before. They did verify. I forgot who it was. I think it was America on Blue Sky. I guess it's like a new Twitter type thing, social media type thing. She said that they are allowed to speak in the hallway. So, because I know a lot of people
But she
online
can't change her vote, though.
Yeah, so she can't change her vote, but...
Let me ask you this, because I thought I had heard this at some point, and I don't know if you've heard this too, or if I made this up or dreamt this up. But is it true that, like, let's say Ashley would have went in there and said, I vote to evict Kelly, and then said, oh, wait, I want to evict Jimmy. Isn't it the first one that comes out of their mouth?
I think
is their vote?
I would think so.
So even if she would, like, like if she did it accidentally and said Kelly instead of Jimmy, it would still have had to have been Kelly?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I thought I heard that somewhere as well.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, this week was just kind of, I don't know. I think that most of the entertainment for me came from the actual overthrowing of the HOH. That was probably the most entertaining part of the whole week for me, was just that whole situation. And then, I don't know. It's almost like I don't even know what I expect to happen, but I'm just not, I don't know. I just don't love this season so far. I don't love it. It's not, I don't know. There's something about it that's just not super, like, I don't know. I think I just maybe don't love the cast as much as I thought I was going to. And as time goes on, I just am not as interested. I don't know. Do you feel that way, or is it just me?
I felt that way for years about Big Brother, so this is no different than me for me. And I'm grateful that Rachel's in the house, at least, because she is what keeps me watching, honestly, because she's so entertaining. And she really is trying to play the game like old school Big Brother, but it's just like she just can't get any bites. It's so annoying. All these people play scared and don't want to get blood on their hands, and they vote out their own allies. Like, I don't understand. Like, Big Brother used to be a game of trust. You had your people, and then you'd go against the other side of the house. Like, that's how Big Brother should go. And that's why it would be always like, oh my gosh, you gotta bite your nails watching the HOH competition, because the side you're rooting for, you want to win HOH, but then when it's the other side, then you're like, oh no, which one of the people do I like is gonna be going home this week? And it's like it's like I don't like any of these people, really, and so I don't really care who goes home. I just want Rachel in the house.
Well, if the whole point of having Rachel in the house to begin with was to try to, infuse some of the old school Big Brother into the house and try to get it kind of back there again. I wonder why they didn't put a couple other legends in there too, instead of just one. Because, I mean, she's pretty influential, but that's a lot to ask with 16 other people, to try to get them to play. So it would have been interesting to see, like, her and Janelle in there together, or something like that, where there was a couple more, because the last time Janelle was in the house, she was out right away too. So I feel like she kind of needed a redo, also another chance. because she's
Yeah.
always entertaining as well, or even Brittany, even though we've seen her a few times. I always enjoy seeing Brittany in the Big Brother house.
Yeah.
But yeah, but anyways, this coming week should be pretty interesting. I don't know, are we going to touch on any of that? Are we going to wait till the episodes air, or what do you want to do there as far as that goes?
Sure. Yeah, we could touch on the spoilers. So if anyone's listening and don't want to listen to the spoilers, we're going to be talking about those. But by the time this episode's out, I'm sure Sunday's episode's going to air. So really, I don't even think this disclosure or message is even important. So spoilers. Ava won head of household, and it looks like it was a knockout competition, which they haven't been doing lately, and I love those competitions.
Right.
So yeah, it looks like she won the knockout. So she was the last person I expected to win HOH, honestly. And
Same.
I did see, like, before she was nominating people, she had a good discussion with Rachel. And one of the things Ava did say that I completely agreed with was that she's like frustrated with people putting up people that didn't want to go home. And she was like, why did you put them up then? So she said this week she was putting up 3 people that she would like to see go home, which with her nominations, I think she absolutely did. And I think any of them going home would be great for her game anyway.
Okay, so do you want to say who's nominated?
Yeah, so the nominations are Keanu, Zach, and Vince. How you feeling?
I mean, I was glad to see Vince and Zach on the block, because I think when you see like a bromance kind of like they have, and it's pretty apparent they're really good friends in the house, why would somebody not break that up? So I think that is a good move on her part. I almost wish, though, that we would have put someone else up besides Keanu. Like, she had talked about Morgan and floated that idea over and over, and I wish she would have just went ahead and slapped her up too, because then your odds are going to be greater of getting one of those 3 out when they're clearly all working together. And when you have a bigger alliance like that, the 3 of them so tight, let's get at least one of them out, make them a little less strong. But then, we have into play also Zach's power. So we know that more than likely, unless he decides not to use it, Zach will no longer be on the block at some point, and maybe her renom will be Morgan then. So maybe it'll be Morgan, Vinny, and Keanu on the block.
Could be. Yeah, it could be. I mean, I don't think it was dumb for her not to put up Morgan. I think it was smart to put up Keanu, because it is somebody that she's still going after, and that would be less blood on her hands. So that is the one case where I'd be like, okay, that's smart to get little less blood on your hands, because everyone's going after him anyway, including yourself. Like, you're not putting him up there because the house wants him out. You're putting him up there because you and the house want him out. So I think that's smart. I don't think it would have been smart to put Morgan up, honestly. Because
I guess. Go ahead.
Even
finish what you were gonna say.
Even with Zach and Vinny on the block, and if Morgan was to win HOH next week, I don't think Ava's in trouble. At least
I don't know.
I haven't watched any of the live feeds, and I don't know many of what's going on. So I don't know if people are pissed at Ava. I don't know.
I don't really know that either, but I just think in my head, like, if you know that those 3 are together, well, I would assume Morgan is mad because she put her 2 allies on the block. So all 3 of them are mad at you anyway. So I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that if Morgan won, I think she probably would put Ava up, because that would be her excuse. Well, you put 2 of my allies up, so now I'm going to put you on the block. But I do think that if and when, I would assume, Zach comes down, who do you think she would put up then? You don't think she'll put Morgan up? Or who do you think she'll put up?
Kelly.
That would be a lame move.
She's not working with Kelly.
She's not working with Morgan either. If you're going to put up those 2 guys, from the get-go, I would want to get one of them out, one of that three trio out. I haven't seen, from what I have seen, read, it looks like she was leaning towards putting Morgan up as a renom. But as of right now, I don't think she thinks she has to do that. Renom anybody at this point. Spoilers if anybody's listening and doesn't, but whatever. Whatever, we'll spoil it. Catherine wins the veto. So Catherine won the veto. So at this point, they're expecting Catherine will not use the veto and the noms will stay the same. But I don't know if anyone knows about Zach's power. I don't think they do. So I don't think anyone knows about it. So Ava's not expecting to renominate anybody. But in her discussions that I've seen from before the veto was played, she had said if someone came off, she was going to put Morgan up there.
Okay. I mean,
yeah.
I think that would be a good move on her part, but I also look at it as, well, you putting Morgan up, you're going to piss Morgan off, and you're going to piss Mickey off, which I think by having Zach and Vince on the block, you're not pissing Mickey off. And then you're going to add another enemy.
Not. Maybe not. But I think Morgan's going to be mad. Morgan seems very defensive of them both, but more so towards Zach. So maybe when Zach pulls himself off, if she doesn't go up, she won't be as mad because then Zach's not in trouble because he's the one that she really likes. I mean, that's been apparent that she's very into Zach. So maybe then she wouldn't be. But it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out once Zach does use his power. Unless he doesn't.
I mean, these house guests have proved how dumb they are so far. So.
Well, I mean, and the other thing, too, that I had actually wrote you about already, though, too, is that Keanu's talking about throwing the blockbuster to Vince. And I hope that that's just some kind of strategy in him blowing smoke, because he cannot be that stupid.
I mean, he said to everybody in the veto ceremony, I'm coming for each one of you. So
I mean, but why would you do that when you've been on the block every single week? Why would you be so confident? So in his brain, he's thinking then at this point, he throws it to Vinny. So it would be him versus Zach. And he thinks that he would stay in that house over Zach. He's that confident that he's willing to throw it. Now, obviously, he doesn't know Zach won't be on the block at all come Thursday.
Yeah.
So, that this might be all for naught. But let's just say for whatever purposes, Zach didn't have the power. I don't think he'd have the votes to stay over Zach. Do you?
Keanu, no. I think Keanu's going to go if he's on the block.
Yeah.
Even so against Vince.
Why would you even entertain that? They've been trying to get Keanu out for weeks. So if he's on the block come Thursday night after the blockbuster, he's gone. So I really hope that was just blowing smoke or all talk or just thinking out loud. But he seems very confident that up against Zach, he is going to stay. And I don't see how that would happen. I mean, I don't see how that would happen. I know he talked to Will, and Will was like, if it's you and Zach, I can't vote for you. So he's not one. I know him and Ashley are very close, so I would assume him and Ashley are going to vote together.
Yep.
I mean, maybe Rachel would vote to keep Keanu over Zach. Maybe. I don't know. But then you got to think you've got Morgan. She's going to vote to keep Zach. So then probably Mickey would too. Yeah, I don't see that happening, but that's just more, again, dumb in the Big Brother house that
I mean, Keanu's only bet is if he's still on the block, he needs to get with Rachel. And they have this weird relationship where they hate each other. They love to hate each other. And yes. I really think that if they were to come together, I think she could probably maybe, well, I don't know, because of how bad last week went with her trying to rally the votes. I don't think she's going to be able to get the votes for him, but she's going to definitely try, I would assume.
I think she would see it as I think she would keep Keanu. She's never really talked about wanting him out. like, or that we've seen. I mean, maybe she has in the diary room and they just haven't showed it to us. But I don't ever remember seeing her anything where she specifically said, like, he was a target. We've heard her talk a lot about Vinny. So we know that really that's who she's got on her brain. So she would definitely, I think, vote Zach out because she knows that that's an ally to Vince. You get Zach out, you know, that makes him a little less strong, one less person on his side. But it's interesting, though, that she was the first and really only one to ever, well, I guess Kelly was a little bit too. But out of everyone in the house, you know, that just goes to show how good Rachel is at this game, that she realized it before pretty much anyone else that, you know, Vinny's got his hand in everything. And he was in a really good spot up until she kind of lit a fire under that.
Yeah. Yeah, people count her out as not being a good player, but she was the one that clocked him. So, and I think
I don't know if he's going to win anymore. I don't know.
I think if she wasn't in the house, he would have won it by a landslide. Like, he wouldn't even have been on the block one time.
I know. The vaudeville villain. That's
Yeah.
who he reminds me of. It's like one of those vaudeville villains. But it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like in real life, he probably is like a decent person. Like, I just don't. He needs, like he said on Wednesday's episode, you know, I realize now I need to pick a side, no throwing, you know, competitions and this and that. But are you really going to do that at this point? Are you really going to show your cards? I feel like he feels so safe telling everybody what they want to hear. And I get that that's a strategy. I mean, what are you going to do in some cases? You probably feel pressured. If somebody's the HOH and they want you to agree with them, you're going to. I could never play the game. So, I mean, I'm probably an ass for a lot of things I've said about people on there. But as a viewer, I'm not in the house. So I can tell them all day what's dumb, you know, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'd make a million mistakes in there too if it were me, but I'm not. So I can judge all I want.
I mean, you never know what cast you're going to be set with. So whatever idea you have going into that house is going to go right out the window because people are crazy. Anything else you wanted to touch on before we end it?
I don't think so. I think that's about it.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And you will hear us next time after Thursday's episode. So thank you all so much and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.